Why does the kitchen feel like an airport baggage carousel? Stuff just keeps circling and you still feel not done. You wipe the counter, turn around, and it's back, a new glass. Crumbs, random lids, half open food mixed with fresh stuff, and a few things someone set down for now. It's not filthy, it's just messy. And somehow that's what drains you the most. In this video, I'll help you reset your kitchen in a clear, doable way. One zone at a time, so you don't get overwhelmed. A few simple landing spots, so you stop forgetting and buying doubles and small shifts that make putting things away easier, so the kitchen doesn't collapse again after every meal. I'll walk you through it step by step. The first way to make your kitchen feel lighter isn't to clean harder. It's to stop letting the kitchen work on behalf of the entire house. In reality, kitchens rarely get messy because of pots or food. They get messy because of temporary things: a blister pack of medicine left by the sink after breakfast, a stack of papers someone brought home and hasn't put away yet, a pen or notebook that has nothing to do with cooking, but ends up here because the kitchen is convenient, visible, and feels like a place you'll deal with later. The problem is that later rarely comes. Over time, the kitchen turns into a holding zone for everything unfinished in the house: school items, paperwork, other people's loose ends. Every time you clean the kitchen, you're not just cleaning a cooking space, you're quietly taking on the responsibility of other areas. That's what makes it feel heavier than it needs to be. So I set a very clear rule. The kitchen only holds 3 categories: food, cooking tools, and eating-related items. Anything outside those 3, no matter how small or how temporary, doesn't stay. But to keep this rule from becoming mentally exhausting, I don't deal with each item right away. Instead, I keep a small basket in one corner of the kitchen within reach, not decorative. On it, I label "Return to the right room." Whenever I see medicine papers, school supplies, headphones, or work items in the kitchen, I drop them into the basket. No thinking, no "I'll handle this later," no immediate decisions. At the end of the day, usually before bed, I carry the basket around and put everything back where it belongs. It takes 2 to 3 minutes. Some days I'm tired and leave it for the next morning, but all day long the kitchen stays free of random clutter. When the kitchen stops holding things that don't belong to it, it naturally feels lighter, not because you cleaned more, but because it's finally doing the job it was meant to do. Next, if you've ever started cleaning the kitchen and immediately felt like giving up chances, or you're cleaning in a way that overloads your brain. You plan to wipe one shelf, but first you have to take everything off. Then you don't know where to put those items. The countertop fills up faster than it was before you started. When you look around, nothing feels done. Everything is open, half-finished, unresolved. The human brain doesn't handle unfinished states well. When everything feels incomplete, the brain never receives a sense of closure and frustration sets in quickly. That's when cleaning starts to feel pointless. The method I use is cleaning in loops, closing one zone at a time. Before you start, choose one single spot: the refrigerator door, the top of the fridge, or one cabinet. Just one, no more. The rule is simple: remove everything from that zone, clean it, put back only what belongs there, and then close it. Once the door shuts, that zone is done. You don't reopen it. A very real example: choosing the fridge door. You remove each shelf, wash it, dry it, and reorganize the contents. When you close the fridge door, even if the rest of the kitchen is still messy, you have one clearly finished area. That visible done signal helps your brain calm down instead of staying tense. The biggest benefit is what happens when you're interrupted. Your child calls you. Your phone rings, something else comes up. The kitchen doesn't turn into a disaster zone. You can stop anytime, and when you come back, everything is still manageable. Cleaning in loops doesn't require huge motivation. You just focus on completing one small zone. And that sense of finishing one piece at a time is what makes you want to keep going instead of avoiding the task altogether. Many kitchens don't collapse because they get messy too fast, but because we keep postponing dealing with them until the end of the day. The kitchen works quietly in the background from morning to night. A rushed breakfast, a quick lunch, a cup of tea poured and forgotten, a pan left to wash later. Each moment feels small and harmless on its own. But by nightfall, when your energy is already spent, the kitchen is still there, holding the weight of the entire day. It starts to look less like a room and more like a full-day report card, and all you want to do is turn away from it. I used to believe that cleaning the kitchen was something you did only after the day was officially over. That belief tied kitchen cleaning directly to exhaustion, to the idea that rest comes only after everything is done and nothing is left behind. Over time, the kitchen became associated with being tired, overwhelmed, and behind. So instead of dealing with it earlier, I began to avoid it altogether. The shift happened when I reframed how I thought about time in the kitchen. The kitchen doesn't really have days. It has shifts. Each time you cook is its own shift. A shift begins when you turn on the stove or reach for a pan, and it ends when the small area you used is reset and ready again. No more, no less. After lunch, I don't scan the entire kitchen anymore. I only look at the spot where I stood. The pot gets washed while it's still warm before food hardens onto it. The cutting board gets a quick rinse and is stood upright to dry. The counter where the pan sat gets wiped once. The sink is left empty. That's it. Other corners can stay untouched. The lunch shift is officially closed. The biggest change is how it feels to start again later. In the evening, when I come back for the next shift, I don't have to clean in order to cook. I'm not pushing past yesterday's mess just to make space. I step into a kitchen that's already usable. Maybe not perfect, but ready. And that alone removes a huge amount of mental weight. When kitchen cleaning is broken into short 5 to 7 minute shifts, it stops demanding big bursts of motivation. It becomes a simple closing ritual, like shutting your laptop at the end of a work session. The kitchen never reaches a level of chaos that makes you dread starting. And once that fear disappears, the kitchen rarely collapses in a big, overwhelming way again. There's a familiar paradox: the fridge is full, yet every time you open it, you sigh and say, "There's nothing to eat." Not because food is missing, but because the food that needs to be eaten first is invisible. New groceries go to the front. Leftovers get pushed back. Open jars hide in corners. Cut fruit disappears somewhere in between. And quietly, things expire. I realize the fridge doesn't lack space, it lacks priority. When everything is treated the same, the brain doesn't know what to look at first. And when we don't see something, we forget it exists. My solution is one dedicated shelf at eye level called the Eat First shelf. It can be a whole shelf or just a clear container placed in front. The rule is non-negotiable: only items that need to be eaten soon go here. No condiments, no brand new groceries, no temporary storage. Whenever I put leftovers away, they go straight onto this shelf. Yesterday's soup, extra rice, an opened yogurt, cut fruit, no labels, no reminders. When I open the fridge, my eyes land exactly where they need to. What's interesting is that once food stops being forgotten, I buy fewer duplicates. I no longer assume something is gone when it's actually still there. And more importantly, the guilt fades. The fridge stops feeling like a hiding place for waste and becomes a gentle reminder system. It's just one small shelf, but it changes your entire relationship with the fridge. You don't need to manage everything. You just need to look in the right place. This next rule sounds simple, but if you ignore it, none of the other tips will last. Don't clean the kitchen when you're hungry. Hunger isn't just low energy, it makes you irritable, rushed, and more likely to quit halfway. You may start with good intentions, but within minutes it turns into just get it done. Or worse, I'll deal with it later. Many kitchen meltdowns don't happen because you don't know how to clean. They happen because you're trying to clean while your body is asking for food. In that state, your brain prioritizes survival, not organization. The result is predictable: a few dishes washed, a quick counter wipe, and then the mess returns right after the meal. My rule is simple: only clean when your energy is at least 5 out of 10. Before cleaning, I eat something small: a cookie, a banana, a yogurt, or a glass of milk. Not a full meal, just enough to take the edge off. It sounds counterintuitive, but because I'm not forcing myself to clean first then eat, I actually clean more consistently. On days when I'm exhausted or extremely hungry, I allow myself the minimum version. That version has only 3 steps: take out the trash, clear the sink, and wipe the counter where I just cooked. No organizing, no cabinet wiping, no making it pretty. The key is changing the standard. You don't need to clean 100% every day. Some days 30–40% is enough. Because you don't burn yourself out, you come back the next day with more energy. And that consistency is what keeps the kitchen from collapsing. One overlooked reason kitchens get messy so quickly is that putting things away is harder than taking them out. When you have to reach up, use both hands, or worry about things slipping. Your brain chooses the safer option. Leave it out. And temporary often turns into permanent, especially on busy or tiring days. I used to store large pots, a blender, and metal bowls in upper cabinets simply because they fit. But every time I finished cooking, I hesitated to put them back. First, they stayed on the counter for a few hours, then overnight. Then it became normal. Even without much clutter, the kitchen always felt heavy. So I applied a simple rule. Heavy items go in lower cabinets, light items go up top. Lower cabinets hold pots, pans, appliances, metal bowls, anything that requires strength to lift. Upper cabinets are for plastic containers, light bowls, towels, and low-risk items. This rule doesn't instantly make the kitchen prettier, but it does something far more important. It makes putting things away easier. After cooking, you just bend slightly and slide the pot into a lower cabinet. No lifting overhead, no awkward posture. No fear of dropping anything. When putting things away no longer feels like a task, you do it more often without forcing yourself. If you currently have one heavy item stored up high, reset just that one thing. You don't need to redo the entire kitchen. One item is enough to feel the difference. And when your body gets less tired from daily repeated movements, the kitchen naturally stays tidier with almost no extra willpower. Some days you clean a lot, yet the kitchen still looks dirty. You've wiped the counters, washed the pots, reorganized items, maybe even cleared the sink. But when you step back, something still feels off. The space doesn't feel fresh or finished. That uneasy feeling usually isn't about what you missed in plain sight. It comes from the places you don't consciously look at hidden grease. Grease doesn't only live on the stovetop or around the burners. It slowly builds up on cabinet handles, light switches, the cabinet fronts below the stove, and the range hood filter. These are surfaces your eyes skim past every day, but your brain still registers them. When they're greasy, the kitchen carries a subtle sense of stickiness and wear, even if everything else looks technically clean. You may not be able to point to the problem, but your body can feel it. That's why the solution isn't a full deep clean. It's choosing the right spots, the ones with the biggest visual and sensory impact. You only need about 10 minutes, and you only need to pick 2 out of 3 tasks. Wipe cabinet handles and light switches, wipe the cabinet fronts under the stove. Or if you have a little more time, remove and soak the range hood filter. For example, simply wiping cabinet handles and switches can instantly make the kitchen feel brighter. These are the places your hands touch every single day. When they're clean, the feeling of cleanliness spreads quickly, even if you haven't touched anything else. The same goes for the cabinet fronts under the stove. Grease here makes the kitchen feel old and heavy, no matter how clean the countertop above it is. What makes this step especially effective is that it doesn't need to happen often. Once every few weeks is enough to create a noticeable difference. It's a small contained effort, with a surprisingly big payoff, a quick wow moment that reminds you that your cleaning actually works and that the kitchen doesn't need perfection to feel truly clean. Finally, the area most likely to get messy again is the spice cabinet and dry goods storage. Not because you buy too much, but because you can't clearly see what you already have. When items are packed tightly stacked or hidden in the back, the brain assumes scarcity and buys more just in case. When you get home, there's nowhere to put it, and the clutter cycle restarts. My rule is simple: only keep the top 10 daily use items in the kitchen. These might be cooking oil fish sauce, salt, sugar, pepper, and a few spices you use almost every day. Anything seasonal, rarely used or bought for a specific recipe, goes to the pantry or a separate container outside the main cooking zone. This doesn't mean throwing things away, it's just a location shift. When the kitchen holds only what you use regularly, everything is visible the moment you open a cabinet. No digging, no Tetris stacking. And when putting things back is easy, the kitchen stays tidy much longer. In households with many people mess, returning is normal. The goal isn't a picture-perfect kitchen, it's easy access, easy storage, easy reset. When you don't have to reorganize an entire cabinet every time you cook, resistance to cleaning drops dramatically. That's when the kitchen stays tidy in a sustainable way. Not because you're controlling every item, but because the system itself is lighter, clearer, and more aligned with daily habits. You don't need to do all of this in one day. In fact, I don't recommend it. A lighter kitchen doesn't come from one big clean. It comes from small decisions placed in the right spots. If you want to try, start with just one item, the one you hesitate over every time you pick it up. Should I keep this here, move it, or just leave it for later? Just one item. Put it where it truly belongs, or let it leave the kitchen. Then notice how your body feels afterward. It's usually lighter than you expect. And if today you only manage that one small step, that's still enough. A kitchen doesn't need to be perfect to be livable. It just needs to stop carrying things that don't belong to it. If you want to continue in this direction, cleaning less while feeling mentally lighter, stay here with me. In the next videos, I'll go deeper into organizing systems that help the kitchen stay tidy on its own, not through constant effort.